Hi, all. Welcome to week 5. I wanted to take a minute to go over the week and also talk a little bit about your final projects and make some suggestions about climate change based on some feedback that I've got from you all from your wrap ups. So let's start with going to this week and going over this week. This week, you'll be learning about agriculture, which is how we grow our food. And we'll be focusing on sustainability in agriculture. So there is an assignment here to watch 2 videos from PBS. One video we're all watching, one video of your choice. You'll be taking notes on them. And for the video that you choose, you're going to be sharing what you learned in the discussion this week. I've also included a bunch of resources about agriculture. You know, this is where we get our food. And as you may remember from the biodiversity and the climate change module, our food is linked to what's going on in the natural world, whether it's biodiversity of our food or how climate change is changing the climate and affecting our food production. There are places around the world that are struggling to produce enough food for the people in that region because of climate change. So, if you're interested in getting more involved, I've included some resources here for want to learn more about agriculture. And then here's a section with the final project materials. This is the other thing you'll be working on this week. It's a lighter week to give you time to work on your final project. So I've included some examples of student projects that were just all around great. They don't include the reflections. I deleted those so that you don't need to see their reflection, their personal reflections. And so there's some examples of student projects for you to look at. But I also want to remind you all to check out the peer review comments that you received from other students. You got great feedback from other students in the class on how you could improve your project, what they like, what they learned. If you submitted your project late, you may not have received feedback. So if you didn't, just letting you know that you don't have feedback if that happened. But use that. It's a tool that students have provided to you to how to improve your final project in this class and others. And then lastly, I want to talk about the final project grading. So this will be graded based on a rubric. And actually the due date is July 31st, so I'll fix that. But check out the rubric, the grading rubric. You'll be able to see this. You'll be graded on the content, on the visuals that you include, on your citations if they're in MLA or APA format, on spelling and punctuation. So just a reminder that every single program that you use, whether it's Google Slides or PowerPoint or Keynote, there's a tool that you can use to check your spelling and grammar. So you should do that before you submit any presentations in college or documents. And then lastly, there's a summary. What did you learn from this project, and what did you learn in this class that you want to take going forward? Okay, so that's this week and the grading on your final project. So the last thing I want to say is I wanted to talk a little bit about climate change because I've been reading your wrap ups, and generally, if you're looking at the news, you're going to see that there's fires in different places and on the West Coast. There's flooding. There's Bangladesh has had a huge flood this year, the worst flood ever, and many people are displaced. If you go to Yosemite right now, it's completely blacked out from smoke. And so summer is a time where we can really sense climate change around the world, especially as we read the news. And so it can be overwhelming, it can be depressing. And I just wanted to make a pitch for social media to add some climate resources to social media. So if you're on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, search for climate solutions. Climate justice is a really great one because that intertwines climate science and social justice. Climate solutions, climate sustainability, climate resilience, all of those. So you can search for those and start following people to learn what can you do, because one of the best solutions for the overwhelm of climate change is to do something. And we all have different things to contribute. Some people might be writers, some people might want to get out and do stuff. Some people might want to call folks. Some people might want to attend clubs. We do have a couple clubs at De Anza, Zero Waste, and Sunrise, which is a climate club. Uh, and we also have a sustainability committee. So there's lots of ways to bring your talents to the climate movement. Okay. And then just a couple other resources that I like. One is this article. It's by Rebecca Ruiz. It's from last year, July last year. And the name of this article is How to Stop the Climate Change Anxiety Spiral and Make a Difference. So, it's very easy to get kind of like paralyzed with fear around what's going on with climate change. And this article is all about what do you do with that? How do you get out of it? And so this is a great article to check out. So you can search this article and the author. Another, there's a group called Generation Dread, and it's all about staying sane in climate and ecological crisis. And so there's a newsletter, Gen Dread. It's launched by Britt Ray as the original author. There's also an Instagram account. I think there's a TikTok. There's a book. So there's a lot of ways to kind of get involved and start reading about ways to kind of not just put your head in the sand. Okay. Last announcement is that this week is the last week to drop the class, to withdraw from the class. You'll receive a W on your transcript, but you can withdraw by Wednesday. So that's just one last thing to share. I hope you all have a great week. I'm here. Reach out if you have any questions. Office hours on Mondays. And I hope you all have a great week.